Hello everyone, my name is Eep and I'm on the Yamc Server, except I'm not on the Yamc Server. This is of course a creative test world where I have been playing with a few ideas. On the Yamc Server, one of the things I was thinking of doing in the community area was a smelter, a super smelter that people could use and I get money for it. But I've been having some problems. As you can see, I've been testing a few ideas out and I cannot for the life of me design the system that I want. So I'm going to show you what I have, what I was aiming for, with the hope that some of you, like Redstone people, might see this as a fun challenge to work out a design for me. I'd really appreciate that. I've given it a good go, but I am absolutely a total noob when it comes to Redstone. I am learning, and this was a really good experience. I learned so much doing this. But basically what I want is an auto super smelter. First and foremost, it must be fully automatic. Like, no moving things around, no, they just shove your stuff in, stuff goes in, unsmelted, comes out smelted, nothing in between. The next one is, it must be fast. It absolutely, the whole point of a super smelter is it has to be fast. So the faster the better. And the next one is it has to be lossless, because this is something I'm charging for. I can't have random items stuck in any hoppers or anything. If a customer puts an item in, they kind of expect it back. I would like to have a pay per volume system, and that's the one of the bits I'm really struggling with. It needs to be really easy to use and optional. It would be nice if I could have a shulker input and a shulker output, just because that makes life so much easier for the customers, but also with the option of it not being a shulker. But I can always, for people who don't have shulkers yet, I can always lend them shulkers. So shulker input and output would be ideal, but not essential. So I'll show you what I've got so far. So this was my first issue. My system one is I wanted a system where you put in your diamonds and I wanted them to not go anywhere, until they are ready to use them. So they put their diamonds in, they've sorted out their shulkers, they put all the items in, nothing's gone anywhere until you push the button. And what's supposed to happen is one of these is supposed to be taken. Oh, I remember. That's the output chest. This is the input chest. You put your diamonds in here and you push the button and you get 1 diamond, and over here you have 23 diamonds. That's the way it works. And of course, because I didn't really want the input chest to be somewhere silly, this design was by TechThor, a physicist plays, and there's the details, and there should be a link in the description below if I've remembered to put it in, but you should be able to use that information to find that. So this is the modification I've made based on his system, where you put your diamonds in here and push the button and 1 gets taken, and this goes into here. There we are. And then the idea is that you turn this hopper into a filter system so that people try to be cheeky and try not to pay by diamonds. So the next step is, this is system 2, the payment checker. So this one is, this is a Mumbo design, how to make an automated shop. So this is an automated part of the design for his auto shop. So once again, your payment goes in here, and then it does its check. Now that's a small problem I noticed with this system, is if you put a whole bunch of them in here, the system breaks. So that will be solved by the fact that we're going to have the push button in place. But that goes down here, and then if it's a good payment, it goes down here. And apparently I've left diamonds all over the place. If it's a bad input, if they try and pay with anything else, it ends up in here. So by combining the system 1 and system 2, so this system here of hoppers fits in, I've lost all my designs, right, where this hopper is, that's where that system will go, and then it gets extended out. So next issue, you've got your system, you see, you take the dispenser signal from here, and this goes to the shulker box input system. So here I've simulated that's the signal that comes from that one. So the idea is you've got a shulker box full of stuff, and you place it in there. And I was going to provide spare shulkers. This wouldn't be glass, it's just that you can see the hoppers and see that there's a chest there. So you've placed your shulker box in place. You've used the correct money. So you've put a diamond in, and that signal comes in from pushing the button, and there you go. The shulker has been moved into this chest here. There's that. There's the one we were doing. There's two I was playing with. So that's the one there. And then this, you take this and send it to your smelter system. And then when it comes out, it's supposed to, so you put your empty shulkers in that one. And then your empty shulkers in this one. Oh yeah, so then it pulls it out, and this was a way to empty the shulker and then break the shulker and return the shulker back to wherever I was storing them, or to give them back to the customer. So this is just that goes in there, that empties, which you can't see because I can't open it. So there's sand, there was sand in there. And then once that's empty, it pushes it out, and the empty shulker ends up over here. And that was going to go in this chest here as part of the input system for the shulker, was going to be turned into this section here. And this was the system unloader. This one is by Florel. And there's the details there. It does have a minor fix, so do be careful of that one. Apparently I've just left random shulkers all over the place. So that was the loading system, or an option of a loading system that also breaks the shulkers. And then once it's gone through the system and been smelted, it would be nice if it could come out of the system, but also go into, that's an empty one, but also go into a shulker here. And this is actually, this one is my design. So what happens here is the items are in here. It then does a check. That's Mumbo's dispenser. That's his design there for an auto dispenser. Basically, it checks to see if there's a shulker there, and then it gives a signal, a pulse signal around here, turns this off, which releases this hopper, which then allows this dispenser to fire into the shulker until it's full. But if it didn't work immediately, there's an observer here with some redstone. So if you needed to, you could just open the shulker and get it started, because it was just in case if you put a shulker down that's already got some stuff in it or didn't have enough stuff in it, there was a reason. And if the shulker isn't filled, open it to start the process. That was it. And so this was an option to fill a shulker if you want to, or also not to. Yeah, and it might break if there's more than one shulker chest full, then a lot of it will end up in the hopper. So just keep that in mind for the customers. And I did a couple of different designs just to play around with the positioning of things. And then I was like, oh, excellent. I've got all the component parts for all the bits that I want. So there you go. This is just a load shulker into box. So then I was like, excellent. I've got all my different designs. I just need to like build a super smelter now. So this one is this one is Mumbo's design. And it's supposed to be really fast. And it is, if you put all the stuff into a double chest, it's pretty fast. But if you put it into if you use a shulker first, as my design is, it's really, really slow. And because it's pulling it all out one at a time, it only fills up one side. And not only that, but I discovered that it's actually pretty lossy. So in some of these, oh, there's all sorts of junk in here. But I found that it actually, towards the end, you get some stuff stuck in these hoppers, basically. So I could try and do some jiggery pokery to extend these to make sure they're empty. But yeah, I'd have to change the design slightly. But the input here, just as soon as you try and do an input with a shulker box, that's now my big issue. So I did some learning from experience. Items get stuck in this system. Only one side works, and the shulker input just isn't fast enough. To solve the lossy issue, I tried a more traditional look. And that's all nice and dandy, like fuel goes in there, there's a thing. But again, quite slow with those hoppers. So then I'm thinking, let's turn that off, otherwise that noise is going to be really annoying. So then I'm thinking experiments to try and increase the input speed from the shulker boxes. So try and get it into, trying to get it into a double chest was one way. Having it so that then the problem was like when to release the cart, if the cart's full, because it pulls it through quite quickly, but then the cart gets stuck when it's full, or if the shulker's not empty. Like a lot of these systems, so this was a system that did take into account, who's this one? This is a NanoRex one. Minecart loaders and unloaders. And basically this will check if the minecart is full and if the shulker is empty, and will send it along. But then this is all getting quite complicated. And how am I going to fit this all together with those other systems that I've got? And then, so I was like, okay, well, what if I double this by having it so that you put all the items into a chest. So you put your items that you want to smelt in this chest and not use a shulker box, but then how do I charge for a specific amount? Because with this system, you just keep putting as much in as possible until it's done. And then I'm charging them for how much they do in one go rather than a specific amount. But this could have a double system here that again has the double check of if the chest is empty and if the minecarts are empty. And then you can have systems coming off of these to go into little smelters on the side. So more like this here. And you just, modulate this and have it done like that. But basically, my key issues here are paying per volume and the speed. So paying per volume, I solved that by using the shulker box, but then I have a speed issue. And that's basically my big problem. And as you can see, I've really tried, but I am very new to this. As you can see, I used a lot of other people's designs and I've hobbled them all together. I've labelled all the systems and I've broken it down. I'm quite chuffed with what I have achieved and what I've done so far, but it just isn't coming together. So I'd really appreciate if someone would fix it and do something cool for me. And this is basically my big redstone blunder. But I have learned a lot. It has been a lot of fun. It's been great coming up with all these systems. And this is also a little bit of a window into how my mind works by thinking about a problem in a modular way, thinking about your requirements, and just trying it all and putting it all together, and then thinking about what problems you're going to have when you put it all together. So how do all these separate systems fit together, and what problems are they going to cause once you integrate them all together? So yeah, I'll leave that with you guys. I look forward to see what you come up with. And yeah, let Mumbo know that his system's rubbish. It just doesn't work. It's clearly his fault. It's not the fact that I'm using it in a different way to how he designed it. Clearly, Mumbo, your design doesn't work. Sort it out, mate. Thanks. Okay then. Bye.